let's get right into it. ESTP, I'm going to put into social butterfly because basically this type just loves to talk to people and they just don't kind of have a filter a lot of the time. They will just have like they like to have an audience basically with what they do. So maybe if there's a dare or something, for example, they love people to like cheer them on. They wouldn't do a lot of the things they do if they didn't have anyone watching them, because just that takes out the fun and excitement for them, really. So yeah, they just love to interact with other people. With ENTP, I'm going to put them in ambivert because yes, whilst this type is technically an extrovert, I'd say they're one of the much more introverted types of extroverts because actually, yeah, you might see them out debating and talking with everyone they can come across, but at the same time, they do like to stay at home and research various topics, for example, and just kind of spiral in with that extroverted intuition rather than actually necessarily going outside the house. So that's why I put them there. ESTJ, I'm going to put them extrovert because they do like to sort of command people and say, like manage and stuff, but they won't necessarily like to actually interact with other people all that much because sometimes they're just so focused on their work that they won't actually have the interaction. So this could be, for example, maybe staying late to try and catch up on work. They're not actually going to be interacting that much with other people just because they're so focused on completing tasks. INTJ, I don't think this is really that surprising. Lone wolf. Yeah, as an INTJ myself, it's strange trying to look at the typing um, introvert extroverts for other types because I'm just so introverted that kind of everyone seems a bit extroverted to me. We can literally, if we needed to, probably go months without almost any contact with like the outside world. The one thing I would say INTJs do interact with sort of socially if it's involved in their plans. It's kind of a strategic. We'll actively plan how much interaction we need actually as a necessity to do what we want to do. So yeah, we're very good in like solitude though. We do enjoy being in our own heads, and I guess with our introverted intuition, we don't necessarily need that much extroverted sensing stimulation from the outside world and going outside. Social butterfly is going to be for ESFP. Um, I guess the stereotype is like they like partying and putting on shows and stuff, and yeah, they this type very much does love an audience. And yeah, just like they do like the attention. It's just part of being ESFP usually. Um, yeah, I guess they are very involved in the sensory world with the extroverted sensing dominant function, so it does make sense. ENTJ, I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna put them in ambivert to be honest, because it's quite a similar situation going on with the ESTJ, but I think this type can get like really, really bogged down in like this strategic side of it sometimes, rather than the actual interacting with other people. So it's kind of like part of an INTJ's sort of strategic planning. An ENTJ might actually get sort of involved in that for periods of time, where I don't know, maybe they're trying to start a business and there's a lot of like research and doing stuff on their own, handling the systems rather than actually talking to people. And something that is kind of a weakness for ENTJs. Sometimes, if they're trying to accomplish a task, they think they're the only ones competent enough to do it, and then they'll just spend a lot of time doing everything on their own rather than like getting the help of other people. But it will be a lot more successful if they're able to actually involve other people and their skills in their plan because they actually are very good at task delegation. In ENFPs, I'm going to put them in ambivert as well. Um, they kind of quite similar to the ENTP with the extroverted intuition dominant function. They will like have quite big bursts of talking to everyone, but then they weirdly do need like a lot of alone time of just like not doing anything and just being inside. Um, but like when they are extroverted, definitely social butterfly. ENFPs are the ones who will just like walk up to random people they've never met before and try and make friends with them, and they just have such a great energy about them. But yeah, they do need that sort of time alone at the same time. So ambivert. Um, I think ISFP's introvert. They do spend a lot of time not interacting with the world, but because when they do sort of go out in the world, they can do very extroverted tasks, like experiences. Like for example, if they have a favorite like band or something, they might go to a concert to watch them. But they'd have to actually have the emotional investment to go and see them, rather than an ESFP who's more likely to try and just go to a thing out of fear of missing out on the experience, regardless of how invested they are into the thing itself. With INFP, it's a tough one, but I'm gonna go lone wolf. This type is, I guess, like known for like, I guess the stereotype is them just like wandering alone and just like outside in nature. Um, I guess it depends if you count like trees and animals and stuff as interacting with people, um, like a social side. But yeah, they'll very much yeah, just interact with nature a lot, and they won't necessarily talk that much to people. They can get quite lost in their own worlds, and like books and stuff. So that can kind of count for some of the social interaction, meaning they don't end up always talking to people in the real world that much. INTPs, I'm also putting lone wolf. This type, it's a tough competition between INTJs and INTPs on who is the more introverted, because INTPs don't have the same level of effort put into like the planning that an INTJ would. So they wouldn't have the necessity to actually go out and interact with the world and like get the sensory experience either. Um, they're quite content, just like I don't know, researching topics and creating their own theories and just like enjoying the world inside, rather than actually going out and interacting with other people. Um, so yeah, it's a tough one. Um, but INTJs could strategically go into solitude for quite a long time. ESFJ, I don't think this is that much of a surprise either. Social butterfly. This type just loves to have people around. They want to make sure everyone's doing okay, everyone's happy. And yeah, they're just good at looking after other people. And sometimes they actually put other people's needs above their own, which is not great. Um, but yeah, they are just very much, they love to be around people and talk to people. So social butterfly. Uh, ISFJ, I'm going to put ambivert because they, not that they necessarily always enjoy lots of interaction, but sometimes their sort of extroverted feeling function will mean that they don't think they should leave this social situation when they want to, basically. So, for example, they'll go to things because they feel like they have an obligation to go to because they don't want to make other people feel bad because they missed out on it. So that'll mean going to like birthday parties and stuff that maybe they wouldn't have wanted to do, but because they have to do it, they feel like have to do it. Then they will be going to a lot more situations than say an INTP would do. With ISTP, I I'm gonna put them in the north as well, to be honest, because um they I guess the stereotype of them like being alone, surviving in the wilderness or whatever, they can very much do that without interaction from other people. They can sort of avoid social situations by focusing so much on doing like sort of actual physical tasks like fixing stuff, rather than having to talk to people. They can use that as a way of getting out of situations. Um, INFJs, I'm going to put an introvert. Um, because I think it's very much a mix of the INTJs. They'll spend a lot of time in their own head, um, isolated from the world. But then they're also torn between the ISFJ, sort of, oh, this person needs me to be here. They need me to interact with them. I don't want to let them down. So they're kind of in this constant battle between the two, and that kind of puts them into introvert category. Uh, ICJ, I think they're just a solid like introvert, to be honest. Um, because they're an introverted sense and dominant function, that means they're gonna want to go outside and stuff, and maybe more in a routine way though. So maybe they'll schedule, okay, I'll spend an hour or two going outside, talking to people, and then spend the rest of the time inside. And that's kind of, yeah, it's just this kind of standard introvert. Yeah, ESFJ, it's gonna be a social butterfly as well. This type is just thrives off talking to other people and like trying to sort of explore that in the world. especially when like emotions and feelings are involved. They'll also try and fit like conventions, social conventions a lot, and try and fit in, and that's kind of what they based a lot of stuff off. And yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Uh, if how introverted you or extroverted you think your own type is, and yeah, let me know if you have any recommendations for other playlist videos. Yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.